Lady C, I wanted to refer you specifically to Maureen Callahan, who is a columnist now with the Mail, but she was previously with the New York Post. And she is warning in a new column.
Meghan Markle has kept the world guessing, but the truth might finally be coming out. Royal insider Lady Colin Campbell is dropping bombshell revelations, and if what she's saying is true, Meghan's carefully constructed image could be shattered forever.
That she thinks Harry and Meghan are separating publicly, and she's warning that such humiliation may spur Meghan to go truly nuclear. So do you think their marriage is at a stage where it's that bad?
Well, Dan, my understanding of what she said is what I have been saying for some time now.
Yes.
That they were advised to go their separate ways professionally. He would take the royal route, she would take the celebrity route. But they need the royal link. I think that's sort of what she's saying, unless I'm mistaken. I don't think she's actually saying that they are separated as a couple. But my understanding is that the marriage is extremely rocky. And they say once hunger comes in through the window, love goes out through the door. And okay, Harry's got himself another 7 or 8 million, which will last for a short while. But I mean, that's not real money, and that's not money the way they live. And they have billionaires, they have a billionaire's lifestyle on a mere millionaire's income. Their annual income would require them to have between $500 and $600 million. He's only worth about 40 million. So do the math. I mean, they're spending what in effect is the totality of his worth. It's insanity. It's unsustainable. But will she go nuclear? Let her try to, because nobody believes a word out of her mouth now. So even if she spoke the truth, which she wouldn't know the meaning of it, if the truth hit her on her face, she'd think it was a fly or maybe a crab.
Grab your tea, because this isn't just gossip. It could be the revelation that rewrites Megxit history. First, a quick reminder. Lady Colin Campbell is no stranger to royal secrets.
Yeah, because see what Maureen Callahan is essentially saying a lot of what you have previously said, but she has said the time has come to gather, stand in our strength, find our voices, speak our truth, and brace for impact, because Meghan may be about to go nuclear. Now, she says it's because Harry isn't happy, and he's done the unthinkable this week, traveling to and participating in events surrounding the UN General Assembly, all without Meghan. They say some have said she is too sick to join, but Maureen Callahan says it must be frustrating for a woman who thrives in any spotlight, who will accept any award, no matter how meaningless, even if she must enter through a rental car office to collect it. But it might also be true that Harry, famously called thick by his own mother, is finally catching on. And he doesn't look happy, Lady C, at the moment. And he hasn't for some time.
Not happy. I gather he's not happy. And he's not been happy for some time. And, I think the scales are falling off his eyes. But to an extent, at the moment, he's trapped. And, they have big secrets that are in danger of being exposed. So, and he's totally complicit in much of what has gone on. So it's not going to be that easy to dismantle. And if she goes ballistic, what's she going to say? I mean, is she going to say, oh, well, they forced me to pretend I was pregnant? Is that what she's going to say? Or, and they did it because they didn't want people of colour in the royal family. Well, Gerald Lascelles is married. I think it's Gerald is married to, anyway, the present Lord Harwood's brother is married to a black woman. The Duke of Gloucester's daughter married somebody who was either Maori or Aborigine, I don't remember which one. Gary Lewis is his name. They have 2 children.
I mean, I
Diana
guess.
had Indian blood, as I am the person who revealed it in my first handbook. And then about 30 years later, or 25 years later, the Times of India plastered it on its front page after Prince William gave his DNA to prove that Eliza Keogh was an Anglo-Indian who was Ruth Gill's, I think, great-grandmother. So they have, and then, of course, there is Queen Charlotte, who was
Yeah.
6 times descended from Madrigana of Pharaoh, who was an African. So, I mean,
And who
to say
Bridgerton
that
is
they
based
are
on.
purely Caucasian is ludicrous.
Yeah.
But let's see what anything she comes up with at this stage. I don't think is credible. I
mean,
think
did you
she's lost
find it
all
credible,
credibility.
the PR that was going around Harry's trip? I mean, look at this headline, for example. Prince Harry FaceTimed Meghan Markle, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet before taking to the stage with Diana Award winners in New York. I mean, that just feels like more PR to me.
Author of explosive royal biographies and once married into aristocracy, she has decades of palace connections. Some dismissed her as eccentric, but time and time again her claims have proven accurate. From
Yes. Well, they're showing how solid the marriage is, and he's a happy family man. And you know as well as I do, when people have to keep on showing how happy they are, it's usually because they're not, unless, of course, there are stories that have been planted by malicious in-laws, as happened with the Waleses, where so
Yeah.
they've
But
had
there
to
are
address.
so many similarities, aren't there, to Charles and Diana in the early 90s when they were trying to say everything was okay, but they just looked so miserable. And Harry just seemed out of sorts in New York, Lady C. I wanted to show you this moment because he talks about the Jamaican government, but he just wasn't really engaged at all. It felt a bit like he's given up. I mean, Lady C, it's just total word salad.
It's insanity. It's rubbish. I mean, he's on the one hand saying there are so many problems that governments have to cope with, which there are, and they're usually coping very ineffectually, I have to say. And then he's on the other hand saying, but then you bring in young people who are inexperienced and therefore uh, might be able to have an opinion, but wouldn't necessarily have a solution. They won't He wants them to be brought in to the decision-making process. I mean, the guy's a total idiot. I mean, if he'd ever run anything except his mouth, he'd know that it's not possible to have, if you're going to be running something, there has to be a leader. There has to be somebody who is the ideas person. And then, yes, you have people who are going to go along with you and help you. But you can't have endless input. It creates havoc. It doesn't create a solution. And the idea that governments should have young people telling it, it's so stupid. I mean, but he is stupid. Listen, this is a guy who at school could only pass words. He couldn't even pass his art exam. And believe me, nowadays, where you don't even have to do life drawing or anything, passing an art exam is so easy. A 2-year-old child would be able to be declared a genius with smudges and thing all over a canvas. And he couldn't even pass that. You know, it's offensive on a certain
Yeah.
level.
No.
But there he is pontificating.
Oh, I
And
know.
but what was interesting, Dan, was that Jamaican girl
Yes.
made some very good, interesting points in terms of the way where the world is heading now, in terms of political instability, of governments creating havoc and warmongering, I mean, she made some really good points, which I was totally in favor of. And of course, I was proud of my compatriot because she was so intelligent. But he's just an idiot, that man.
Princess Diana's turmoil to Prince Andrew's scandals. Lady Colin Campbell's claims are bold, but not impossible. And if more insiders come forward, Meghan Markle may face a truth she can't PR spin her way out of. What do you think? Is Lady C finally exposing what the palace wouldn't?
Yes, that's the perfect way, I think, to sum up his New York trip. But Lady C, I want to talk to you about the other big story which has a royal connection this week. Mohammed Al Fayed, these explosive revelations from the BBC with multiple rape claims. For folk who don't know, Mohammed Al Fayed was, of course, the father of Dodi Al Fayed, who died in the Paris tunnel with Princess Diana, the owner of Harrods for many years. But they're pulling in a woman, Lady C, called Anne Coxon, into this and seemingly trying to turn her almost into the Ghislaine Maxwell of the piece. And I believe you have a personal connection with her and some real insight into what the BBC are trying to do here. But first, it turns out the key to losing weight and keeping it off is not in carbs or fat or even probiotic-rich foods. No, the end game of having a healthy weight, as well as more energy and a long, healthy life, comes down to a specific switch you can flip in your body to flush out unnecessary calories. Dr. Stephen Gundry is calling this caloric bypass. And by activating this specific process in your body, he has seen thousands of people dramatically improve their health, even at age 50 and beyond. This includes losing weight, getting tons more energy, and returning to the good health that they had in their youth once they simply address this one key to better health. Not only that, this is actually associated with improved digestion, strong feeling joints and muscles, smoother skin, and healthier lives, meaning it could be the key to a happy life. Dr. Stephen Gundry has lost 70 pounds himself using his research and has kept the weight off for over 20 years and counting. His digestive issues are gone, his health is fantastic, and he feels younger and healthier today than he did in his 40s. His video has been watched by over 20 million people to date, and you can watch and learn more about it at thehealthyfat.com/outspoken. It's linked at the bottom of this video on YouTube and Rumble, but he'll teach you exactly how he has kept his weight off for free at thehealthyfat.com/outspoken. Click on the link in the description below the video.
I do. She's my private GP, and she is an extremely eminent member of the medical profession. I won't even dragging half the names in the medical profession as well as her patients. I mean, it is absolutely outrageous, in my view, that the BBC can be, and they've mounted this as a deflection campaign because they knew Hugh Edwards had to plead guilty. They have had a series of scandals, all of which they have managed to dampen down. There was the Jimmy Savile matter. Then there was the Martin Bashir matter, where Martin Bashir practically drove the already troubled Diana to insanity. And I mean, literal insanity, because she ended up being paranoid in the medical sense of the word, gratis his lies. Not only did they know about this, but they covered it up for 25 years. They destroyed the career of the person who originally complained about it. I'm saying artist because I don't know the technological terms.
Yeah, he was like the graphic designer, wasn't he? Yeah, I know who you mean.
Yes, he's the one who did at their behest, thinking they were genuine. He did the mock-ups of the
Or is this just another royal rumor storm? Like if you believe the truth always comes out. Subscribe now for more shocking royal revelations and celebrity takedowns every single week. Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and stay tuned, because the royal games have only just begun.